Working on a 2015 Chrysler Town Country. It's got a 3.6. This radiator had a crack right there. We're gonna replace the radiator and thermostat. It's my first time doing it, and sometimes I don't like looking at schematics. It's like figuring it out. So I took this piece off. This has one, two. Well, first on top it has 2 10s, and it's got these little 2 push clips. The old ones you could just take this grill off. You don't need to take the bumper off. But when I took this off and I looked behind it, these clips look like all breakable clips, and I don't want to break the clips and have this be loose, so I'm going to take the front bumper off. So once you take this off, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 and 6 right up front right here. So move that out of the way. The bumper, it's gonna have a couple screws on this side. It's got a 10 up here, and then we have screws on the bottom, and then the same with this side. So we'll take all these off, and then I'll show you the bottom ones. We'll be right back. Now for these screws, I have this little tool. They're pretty cheap and handy. It's cool to have them. It's flat on this side. You get in tight places. Or if you don't have this tool, turn the car on, turn one wheel first and then the other. And then you'll take these off. And then you'll take a 10, and then you go right up here. Take this 10 off on both sides, and then we'll grab that edge and pop this out after taking the bolts off from the bottom. Okay, on the bottom here, bottom has this clip, so if you need something like this, a couple of flat screwdrivers will work too. You just get under these and pull them up. Yeah, so this was a little hard to take off. So you see that little gray nip right there? You got to get some sharp and push on that, and then the thing will come off. And then the same thing on this side. I grab this. When you pull this off and push down, you're gonna separate the little gray out of 2 spots. Okay, so I'm gonna push these down and pull this off. This comes off the end, and then down here you got your fog lights. These are just twist these out, pull them up. They have dual, so it's hard to get them in there. So put the bumper down, and then just separate both sides of these. Pull this off, and we'll move the bumper out of the way. Okay, now we're at this stage. This is the AC condenser. We're gonna have to push these 2 nipples in. These 2 nipples in. This will pop out, and then we'll slide it up out of those pieces. I don't know if I want to take this off or not. This may get in the way or not, but let's see. Let's pull this off first. See if it gets in the way. So we're gonna squeeze this down. That one off, and we'll put something right there so it's like that. Okay, so we got that screw off here, and then we'll squeeze this tab, squeeze that one, pop this out, and you gotta be careful with these little plastic nips to keep it from going up, because once you pull it out, you gotta pull it up to separate it. So just reach in there, pull this up. We have separation. We don't have that much space. They kind of put this hose in a very ridiculous place, but yeah. Now we're gonna get the fan off. So I'm gonna take this upper radiator hose off. We're gonna follow this electric line, disconnect it. We've already disconnected this as a hose, so we're gonna disconnect our reservoir. And I might just go with it. The same thing. You may not need to disconnect it. Let's leave this on for now. Alright, I'll be right back. Okay, so I took the hose off. You gotta fish it out of this piece. You gotta put something sharp in there and pry that open. Move the hose out, get it out of the way, put it inside. I don't think you need to take any of the reservoir off, so leave that hose on. Just need to disconnect it from here. I'm gonna disconnect these connectors, and these little red things need to be pushed back, and then there's a tab in there that you can push and release. Okay, so push that red piece back, and use a screwdriver to push down on this, and then you need another screwdriver to separate it. The rubber drum, this thing's stuck in there pretty good, and then pull it out. I need both my hands, I'm gonna be right back. Push in, and pull out. So yeah, so just pull this back, and I'm gonna push down here, and then just use the momentum on the pick, just pull this up. So pull this up, get this out of the way. Now we're gonna push on this tab and this tab, and then we're going to pull the radiator fan up. I don't think anything's connected down to the bottom of it, so it should pop out. Right, I'll be right back. Okay, so we got the fan out of the way. Yeah, so you just release, and it just pops up. And you just move the whole thing with the reservoir out of the way. The sensor in there. I'm just gonna empty the reservoir and clean it before I fill it up and put it back. Okay, so now we're here. Our front is loose. We need to release that radiator hose down the bottom. We gotta see if any of this is attached to our radiator, which looks like it, right down the bottom. Let's go release this hose really quick. Let's see whatever this is attached. We'll release that. Oh, same little squeeze tabs. There's a squeeze both of these ends. Pop this out. Okay, so you see some space. Okay, so radiator is free from that side. Free from this side. Yeah, so I'm just I'm gonna take that radiator, the bottom radiator hose off. I'm gonna open my valve. I'll put a catch band down there. This thing has leaked a lot already, so put my catch band down there, catch whatever is gonna leak, and take my radiator hose off, and then pull the radiator off. So that hose clamp, we're gonna get in here, take the hose clamp off, pop that hose off, make sure you put a catch band underneath it. It's gonna have a little bit more, so I'm gonna close this side. My catch band. Other side. And then I need both hands to get to that clamp. And I'll be back. That bottom hose was in a pretty bad place. It was really hard to get any kind of tool in it. I have this specialty hose clamp release tool. They're not that expensive, but you know, all you guys are not gonna have this, or you're not gonna be able to get this right away. So, in case yours is kind of set up in a bad place where this isn't in a way and you can't get a wrench around it, you need to just take this bottom cover off and release the radiator hose from the other side, and then just pull the whole thing out and then release it when you're out of the car. But I was able to get mine, so I think we're pretty much released. We just need to get around this little rubber grommets, and I'm gonna pull the radiator out. Definitely gonna need both my hands, but everything's released, so we're just gonna pull it up and just work our way around these rubber grommets to make sure they don't hit these AC lines. Okay, be right back. Okay, we're actually gonna release this rubber little thing, so we're gonna come over here and push down on this little piece. We're gonna pull the top part of it out, and then down the bottom, we're gonna pull the bottom part of it out. So now our radiator's released on both sides, because that grommet was going to get stuck on here, and they made it where you could release it. So now okay, looks like my phone still works. So this is the part number. This is the radiator. We need to transfer a couple parts from this one. I'm going to take that rubber grommet off from the bottom and the top. Our radiator was leaking from right here. It had a crack going down this whole back side. It's thin, so be careful where you sit it. That's not good. He snapped off to keep the little rubber piece in place. You gotta be careful with just little stuff like that. I'll make it work. Using both my hands, but this kind of goes in down this way, and then that side. Be careful with the electric lines on that side. Right back. Okay, so we slid our little rubber. This kind of protects where the wind goes. So snap it in place. That top piece broke off, but it's in there. Bottom is on, and then we're gonna put this on first, and then that on, and then we're gonna slide these in, making sure that our hoses are protected around this part. So put that on. That's in. That's in. Yeah, that's in. Come down to the bottom. That in. Put this back on. And slide. That goes on this side. That one goes on that side. Radiator's in place. Okay, we're gonna put our lower radiator hose on, and then everything else is in reverse. So fan on and put everything back. I'm gonna just show you the final process. Once I put everything back together, I'm gonna show you how to fill it up. This is a bleeder valve on this side, so there's some bleeding needing for this once we fill it up. Okay, good luck. Okay, I want to go put the radiator in. The radiator fan gets held by this little clip, so you push this down and it snaps here. And on the original radiator, this just goes down and snaps. The space is perfect. On the aftermarket ones, it's pretty tight. I had to get behind it and push it down with one arm, and then put something in it, kind of like that, and then pop that out. So be very careful because these things will break, but they need to be, that lip needs to be over. Alright, so you see it is right over, holding the fan in place. And then we're going to put the electric pieces back. Okay, so we have our bleeder valve open. We're going to fill up the radiator till that starts leaking, and then we'll close that and fill up the radiator to the top. Once I get the car started, I'll turn on the heater. If the heater works and it's nice and hot, then I know there's no air in the system, good to go. If the heater doesn't work right away, I'll open that once again while everything's running at idle and have it leak out a little bit and top it off. So I'll leave the radiator cap off the whole time to make sure I'm completely topped off. But once the heater is nice and hot, you know you're full. And then once you drive it for a day or two, when the car is cold, check the radiator cap one more time and the reservoir. If it needs to be topped off, top it off, and then you're good to go. A little video on how to do the radiator and the thermostat. Good luck.